The Joker is a very unique character. I often refer to him as the man with 1,000 faces, because men from all different types of walks of life have played him. From men with insanely emotional depth, to men who understood the character, and even down to men with silly mustaches. All fundamentally different down to their cores. One thing remains abundantly clear. A name with no face, a man with no name. It could be anyone. Over the last century, the Joker has been taken in many different ways. The clown, the comedian, and I believe even the movies back in the day, even up to modern times, definitely reflect this such character. You see, the Joker is not really a person. It's not really a man or a woman. It's a mantle. You all know that perfect saying, that one quote Joker always says, all it takes is one bad day. And it's why I wanted to make it into a video. You see, there's been plenty of thousands of YouTubers cover Joker, but I want this one to be different and to stand out among the rest. I don't want this video to be hours long. I want it to be my typical 10 to 15 minutes long. So in today's retrospective, we're only going to be narrowing it down to what Joker, and that is the Telltale Joker. Although I will be encompassing and talking about all of the other Jokers that have come in the past, and how that correlates into this Joker. Even the Joker who cannot be named, Jared Leto, and the one that actually cannot be named legally, Jerome Valeska, Cameron Monaghan's. I believe all of these Jokers had a hand and a play into forming this Joker we see into Telltale series. I first wanted to start by saying how much of a Joker fan I am, and how much I really enjoy the manga that comes with him. As with every retrospective I've covered, this character is extremely fucking old. There's been many writers, many directors, and many different filmmakers who have adapted the Joker for the big screen, for animation, or for video games. All remain redundantly common in the sense that they enjoy chaos, and they have that fundamental core trait. The Joker in the Telltale series, although I'm not finished with Season 2, is exactly what you would expect. Chaotic by pure nature, even down to his personality. I mean, the guy is crazy. In this game's universe, although different, has some stark good comparisons and some stark differences, and some amazing commonalities. What I really love about this Joker is he's not an older Joker, he's a young Joker, kind of like how the Batman is a young Batman. He's basically year 2 Batman. This Bruce and this Batman, of course, is meeting the new villain. For us, it's not new, but in this series, he doesn't know who Bane is. He doesn't know who Poison Ivy is. Harley Quinn isn't even Harley Quinn yet. So when he meets Joker, or John Doe, in the Arkham Asylum in Season 1, you seem to really get a hint of how this universe treats the Joker. He's completely unknown, anonymous, doesn't even have a name, doesn't have any family. No one even knows where he come from at all. No one even knows how he got into Arkham Asylum. And nobody really knows how he got out, other than a few people. And you see, that's a commonality you see with amongst all Jokers, is his backstory is left to multiple choice. You see it with one of the best on-screen Jokers ever written and created, Heath Ledger's Joker. Although Christopher Nolan dropped in hints of his backstory, you really do not know where he came from, who he is, and his backstory. The best animated Joker that has ever been created and written, Mark Hamill. That extends heavily into the video games of Arkham, Asylum, City, and Night. And you can really see the inspiration from Mark Hamill's Joker, and you can really see the inspiration of the grounded realism in Heath Ledger's Joker. I would really like to talk about Joaquin Phoenix and his correlation to this Joker, but I believe this video game was made before Joaquin Phoenix Joker was even written. So in light of this, I'm going to make it short and sweet with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Joker 2 in my canon, my head canon, doesn't even exist. Joker 1, with Joaquin Phoenix as the main character, and showing his psyche break, and showing him go through the motions with his mother, kill his mother, and going through actual real mental illnesses where he can't control his hallucinations, he can't control his delusions, and he can't control his laughter. Was definitely a more grounded and realistic take on the Joker. But the big 3 Jokers I see taking inspiration for Telltale series' Joker is Jerome Valeska, Mark Hamill, and Heath Ledger. This Joker, even though we're framed as best friends because he sort of helped me in Arkham Asylum to get released, is a sort of creepy atmosphere, and I feel like you should really nail that in with Joker. Is he shouldn't just be familiar, he should be creepy in a sense. You shouldn't be able to trust him on a dime, and he should be kind of holding back his insane side, which is exactly what this Joker does. I also like how this Joker kind of doesn't have like a grandiose sense of self. He has elaborate plans and he knows he's intelligent, but he kind of hides it away from the world. He uses everybody like Bruce Wayne and people in his camaraderie as pawns. And although he does that, he does it in a way that's methodical, quiet in a sense. He seems to want to hide the crazy side of himself, and he lets it out in bursts of laughter, or being way too loud, or being overly inappropriate. And that really brought me back to the time of Jack Nicholson's Joker, of the goofy, crazy, unchaotic nature of his Joker. Like I said before, it's framed in a way that the Joker and Batman, or I shouldn't say Batman, Bruce Wayne, are best friends. John Doe / Joker is manipulating Bruce Wayne into giving him favors. Even though Bruce Wayne never really gave him a favor, he keeps appearing in Bruce Wayne's life at very odd times, just so he can force a decision out of Bruce right then and there. And you know, to me that seems overtly Jokerish. I like how you can kind of tell with the minimal interactions that you have with John Doe that it will probably take the slightest thing to make him go off rails completely. So you have to be cautious in your approach with him. And in that aspect, he reminds me of Heath Ledger. You know, you gotta tread lightly, beat around the bush with him, because he might pull out a detonator and blow up a hospital full of kids. You never know. And that's really, as a Joker writer, that you have to nail down to a T, is his unpredictable and chaotic nature. If you don't get that down, you're not really gonna convince people that your character turned into Clown Prince of Crime. And this is why Jared Leto's Joker is literally the most garbage character I have ever seen in my entire life. He's like if a white kid was trying to pretend to be gangster, overly gangster, like sagging his pants, saying, "Hey yo, what up, cuz? What up, cuz?" That's what Jared Leto's Joker is a fucking pretender. He's a LARPer. He LARPs as the Joker. When you think of the Clown Prince of Crime, do you think of a grill-wearing gangster who lets people fuck Harley Quinn?
Handsome hunka hunka. You belong to him now.
No, you don't. You don't see him as Adam 22, a fucking cuck. Jared Leto is that kid who thinks he's a Peaky Blinder that walks around thinking he's gangster until he gets checked on the street. They kinda had a little bit of the sauce, a little bit, with Jared Leto's Joker in the Nightmare scene.
Au contraire, my little fish stick.
With Batman, they almost had the sauce with that one. But almost a little bit is like putting fucking spice on a turd. And I'm happy only little commonalities are with the Batman and Ben Affleck and the Joker and Jared Leto. And I don't see any commonalities between Jared Leto's Joker and this Joker, which is a massive relief to me, I should say. I see more stark comparisons with this Joker to Jerome Valeska's Joker, and that is a high compliment. I've never played as a Batman or Bruce Wayne and been around in the presence of Joker and actually been terrified. Especially when Joker showed up to Batman's friend Lucius Fox's funeral, that was terrifying. Even though I was Batman, Bruce fucking Wayne, I was actually terrified for what he was gonna do there. I didn't know if he was gonna blow up the casket, I didn't know if he was gonna blow up the church, and that's how you write the Joker. It doesn't even matter how old he is, even though he's like 20 years old. It doesn't matter that he could have been 70, 80, 90. He still would have been terrifying. And that's how you nail a Joker. He's slowly holding back his true self with Bruce Wayne, trying to get him to meet the camaraderie. You obviously take down the Riddler, which is one of the camaraderie brothers. And, you know, Joker feels betrayed, so he feels a need to get revenge on Bruce Wayne and start all this chaos. And that's how you really write the Joker. He's unpredictable. One day he could be petting a puppy, one day he could be blowing up a hospital full of puppies. You never know. The man is chaos in itself. And too many writers try to go off in the sense of, oh, the Joker should be sympathetic, oh, the Joker should be a soldier, the Joker should be someone who lost his wife, he should be someone who you should cry for, you should feel bad for. The Joker is not a sympathetic character. The guy has no redeeming qualities. And yes, he probably went through something horrendous, horrible to turn into such a monster, but the guy has no redeeming qualities. At least Two-Face and Clayface and all these other characters at least have one redeeming quality about them, you know? At least some of these characters have one redeeming quality. The Joker has no redeeming quality because he takes his trauma that he went through and projects it onto the world. And it's exactly why in the beginning of the video, I said the Joker is a man of 1,000 faces, because it could be any man of any walk that has one bad day that decides to paint his hair green and turn into a fucking clown. And I think that's exactly the point that the Telltale series Joker is trying to make. Although I haven't finished it yet, I'm almost done with it, I do believe that's the point they're trying to hammer home. And that's why they went with almost like a 20-year-old Joker, because it doesn't matter who is Joker. Joker is Joker. It could be a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old, or 50-year-old. And that's why I brought up the criminal, the gangster, and the clown, because they're all different people, although they all share the same mantle throughout different generations of time. Anyway, I really do believe you guys should give the Telltale series a chance. Very underrated games, I should say. That's about it.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.